Now, who did she piss off so badly that they decided to give her Cruella de Vil's rejects? Hi there, my name is Tessa, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the outfits at the 2025 Academy Museum Gala. But before I begin, let's get a few things out of the way first. Because dozens of celebrities attended this event, I can't talk about every single person. So if there is someone that you think that I missed, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to respond. Also, it should be obvious, but this is my opinion, and it's totally fine if we disagree. Please don't take it too seriously if I happen to hate a look that you loved. We're gonna start off with Selena Gomez in Armani Privé. So she's been gravitating towards these sort of minimalistic, elegant looks lately, and I feel like this definitely falls into that category. It's almost a little too simple and safe, and I'm wondering if that's why they added the jacket to try and make it a little more fun. But honestly, to me, it just reminds me of like the end of a wedding when you're cold and tired and drunk and just want to go home. Next is Rachel Zegler in Tamara Ralph. This is very Gentlemen Prefer Blondes meets Sabrina, but not in a good way. I think that the train is kind of overpowering her, and the gloves make it veer into costume territory. Like, it isn't Halloween yet, and for the love of God, stylists need to rediscover a closed-toe shoe. Next is Chase Infiniti in Louis Vuitton. I had no idea who this was, but after seeing this look, she's fully on my radar. I can't get enough of the fabric and how it has like the slightest sheen to it and this sort of stone-washed tie-dye effect. It almost makes it look like when sunlight hits water. It's just really beautiful. The bodice is also constructed really well. 10 out of 10. Next is Viola Davis in Gucci. The feathers and the velvet are just classic Gucci, and I'm surprised that Florence Welch didn't already have this hanging in her closet. I really love the color, so no complaints there. I just feel like the whole look is just a little forgettable, you know? Next is Mikey Madison in Christian Dior. There is a lot about this dress that I really like. The sleeves, the hem, the lace, the neckline, the color, but instead of being able to appreciate all of those beautiful elements, your eye just goes straight to the underwear. Don't get me wrong, sheer dresses can be a lot of fun. I just feel like this one wasn't that well executed. Next is Kirsten Dunst in Rodarte. Now this is a sheer dress that works. I think because the color is so close to her skin tone, you don't even register that you're seeing her bare legs, which I think is almost what you want for an event like this. The styling is just throwing me off a little bit. I feel like it needed a kind of woodland fairy vibe, you know, flowy hair, very little jewelry, and like a cute summery lip. Next is Greta Lee in Christian Dior. I think the top half of this dress is so unbelievably sexy. The deep V, the sheer lace, the backless moment. Where it starts to lose me is the bottom half. I would have preferred if they had continued the sexy vibe all the way down the skirt, but if they did insist on a ball gown, then I just feel like they really needed to push the silhouette a little bit more, because it kind of just falls flat. Next is Ayo Edebiri in Chanel. She was recently named a Chanel ambassador, and so far they haven't done her too dirty. It is a little simple for a gala, but she pulls it off and makes it look chic, and I really love the hair. Next is Quinta Brunson in Carolina Herrera. When I reviewed the Emmys red carpet, I mentioned that Quinta tends to wear the same type of dress, but this actually feels a little bit different for her, and it worked out great. The color is beautiful, the neckline has a lovely shape, the accessories are perfectly understated, and I really adore the pop of purple in her eyeshadow. This might actually be one of my favorite looks of hers to date. Next is Colman Domingo in Valentino. Colman is a great example of a celebrity who has a very specific style philosophy, but always plays around enough with the formula that the looks don't just blend together. He loves pattern and color, a fun accessory, and of course, really good tailoring, and by continuing to follow that recipe, he consistently looks great. I mean, it's to the point that I would consider this one of his more average outfits, even though it's leagues better than what the rest of men in Hollywood wear. Next is Amanda Seyfried in Prada. I think the dress itself is fantastic. It's just the right amount of elegant and fun. The styling is what kind of brings the look down for me. I don't love the length of the necklace. I feel like it kind of clashes with the beading on the bodice, and the bra isn't as seamless as I would have liked it to be. And unfortunately, her hair is a little bit too, I'm going to brunch. Next is Michelle Monaghan in Carolina Herrera. I know this type of dress isn't to everyone's taste, but I think it is so much fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to look like a literal field of flowers? I do think that the red lip is a little bit much though, mainly because the dress is so loud that it's kind of asking for a more demure partner. Next is Bowen Yang in Denzel Patrick. Knowing how chronically online Bowen Yang is, it doesn't surprise me that he's wearing one of 2025's biggest microtrends, which is excessive buttons. I do think it's well executed, however, because it adds some fun pattern and texture to what is otherwise an ordinary suit. Next is Rose Byrne in Celine. Now, who did she piss off so badly that they decided to give her Cruella de Vil's rejects? Even she doesn't seem happy about it, and rightfully so, because it's terrible. Next is Demi Moore in Prada. This is giving Victorian vampire in like all of the best ways. The asymmetric skirt detail keeps things interesting, but since it's the same color and fabric as the rest of the dress, it isn't distracting or out of place. I would probably wear this. Next is Lucy Liu in Miss Sohee. Lucy Liu isn't on a lot of red carpets nowadays, so it's always nice seeing her. Miss Sohee knows her way around a ball gown, and this is no exception. I just really wish that they had gone with a closed-toe shoe. Next is Zoey Deutch in Zac Posen. I am obsessed with the color. I think the fit of the bodice is great, and the skirt is dramatic but not overpowering. My only qualm is the slicked back bun and nude lip. I just feel like this dress deserved better than the type of glam you would wear when you're grabbing coffee and a bagel. Next is Jenna Ortega in Grace Ling. It reminds me a bit of what she wore to the Emmys, but in my opinion, done even better. It's just a really good example of thinking about the entire look, not just the dress, because the hair and makeup are actually adding to what's going on, not detracting from it. Next is Zoe Kravitz in Saint Laurent. This is probably one of my favorites of the night. I really love the sort of early 1900s Gibson girl silhouette, and it actually reminds me a lot of Crimson Peak, especially with the color palette. And despite Zoe being so petite, she's definitely wearing the dress and not the other way around. Next is Sydney Sweeney in Armani Privé. The dress is pretty and it fits her well, but I feel like I've seen her in such similar outfits over the years that this is just kind of forgettable. Next is Olivia Rodrigo, also in Armani Privé. This is actually archived from Spring/Summer 2005, but like a lot of two-piece sets that make their way onto the red carpet, I feel like this one didn't quite make it to the finish line. Like it's just a beaded top and a black skirt at the end of the day. I think that if they'd created a full dress that was inspired by the top, it would have just felt a lot more special, or at the very least, they could have done a bit more with the styling. Like a really glamorous updo would have done wonders here. Next is CharliXCX in Saint Laurent. I'm honestly obsessed with this. It's sexy and edgy, which is very Charlie, but it still feels appropriate for the event in question. I love all of the texture and movement in the leather, and the way that they've gone into a full ball gown skirt after the dropped waist is just really unique. Next is Kaia Gerber in Givenchy. Love the dress, love the makeup, love the hair. She just looks like an old school Bond girl, just so gorgeous. Next is Emily Ratajkowski in Jean Paul Gaultier. I wasn't a huge fan of this collection, including this dress, but I think they did a good job of making it look a little bit more wearable. They didn't really do much with her hair and makeup, but maybe that's because the straps on the dress were weird enough and they kind of wanted the focus to go there. Next is Kim Kardashian in Maison Margiela. This is very Kim Kardashian, but like in all of the worst ways. Like it feels like she always tries to be disruptive and edgy and alternative, but it never really works because she's her. The dress kind of looks like if you took all the leftover fabric samples from Skims and just threw them on her, and instead of being dramatic, the bodice just looks painful. Not a great way to promote your shapewear brand, if you ask me. Next is Kendall Jenner in The Row. The Row doesn't make a lot of appearances on red carpets, so that's interesting, but everything else about this look is very ordinary. Like, I would wear something similar to this just to grab drinks with the girls. Next is Hailey Bieber in Schiaparelli. This is a really fun dress, but unfortunately, it's totally wearing her. Like, it might as well have been a mannequin standing there. Harsh, I know, but true. Next is Emma Chamberlain in Giorgio Armani. I know a lot of people hated this, but I really like the sort of understated, grungy 90s vibes. Like, it kind of feels like something that Winona Ryder would have worn back in the day. It's just very effortless cool girl, which I do think is the kind of image that Emma is trying to cultivate right now. Next is Addison Rae in Versace. Not my favorite Addison look, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, she looks very pretty, but I feel like the color isn't really doing much for her. The hair is just kind of there, and the dress isn't quite as snatched as I would have expected from Versace. Next is Eva Longoria in Elisab. Now this is how you do a sparkly dress. The sequin work is absolutely fantastic, and I really like the pattern that the sheer cutouts have created. It's the bombshell look done perfectly. Next is Archie Madekwe in Valentino. It does feel like he's reheating Colman's nachos a little bit, but I won't complain because he looks great. I love the color story going on with the copper trousers, blue shirt, and the yellow polka dots. You would think that it'd be too busy, but it totally works together. And the shoes are just so much fun. Next is Elle Fanning in Balenciaga. If you watched my video about the best dressed celebrities in Hollywood, then you know that I love Elle's style. But this is one of her rare misses. She usually looks great in pastels, but something about this sort of light, dusty mauve kind of washes her out. And I also feel like because the top is vaguely t-shirt-esque, which is kind of casual, they really needed edgier hair and makeup to play against that. Next is Joey King and Carolina Herrera. Now that is a dress. They've color matched the mesh so well that it really looks like bits of fabric are just floating around her. And I think it hugs her figure wonderfully. I've had a lot of hate for slick back buns so far in this video, but here I think it works because it really lets you appreciate the dress. Next is Logan Lerman in Saint Laurent. I swear, if you gave him a good shave, he could still film the third Percy Jackson movie because the boy has barely aged. I know a lot of people online weren't into this look, but I can get down with this vaguely futuristic 1980s vibe. I just wish that they'd added a blazer just to make it a little bit more formal. Which celebrity had your favorite look at this year's Academy Gala? That's it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!